welcome back to my channel. It is voting day, so before I go out and vote, I'm gonna make a video for you guys. I wish in last week's video I would have mentioned about going and voting for those of you that can, because it's an awesome experience and an experience I've never done yet, so maybe I shouldn't say it's awesome. The very first election I was ever able to vote in was actually the Trump versus Clinton election back in 2016, but I was on my mission and so I couldn't vote. So this is actually the first time I'm gonna be able to vote and I'm really excited. So anyways, today's video might seem a little archaic because I know a lot of you guys are going to missions where you're gonna be using an iPad on a daily basis and you don't have these anymore. So for those of you who are still going to places like the entirety of South America, I think a lot of places in Mexico still use regular agendas. I don't know if Africa, I know Europe's fully iPad and I know like Asia is, but there's still probably about half the world of missionaries that still uses the regular old agendas. Okay, I might say agenda a lot because that's how we say it in Spanish, and I served in Peru, so I was Spanish speaking, so excuse me if I say agenda instead of agenda. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I still have quite a few of my mission agendas. They're actually all right here. I'll actually get them down for you guys. All right, so I didn't keep all of mine because the first couple were rough, guys, and that's okay. Your first agendas are gonna be super disorganized until you figure out your pattern and the way that you kind of like to stay organized and all that. So, if you guys haven't noticed, like, missionaries go all out when it comes to covering your agendas because it's one of the few things that you can be really creative about as a missionary. Well, design-wise, that's different. So, this is something I learned from my trainer, is how to cover my agendas. I thought it was so cool. And also, all the agendas look the same, like the original covers of them do. This isn't one, but they all look the same, and so it gets really confusing when you live in an apartment with, you know, your companion, or even like 4 missionaries, or even 6 sometimes. So you definitely want to cover your agenda to make it look different because they all look exactly the same. So some things that I did, I got real creative sometimes, and I would do like watercolor and do like quotes that I liked and just different things that kind of stuck out to me. I would take, we would print out pictures sometimes of like those really cool Pinterest quotes. I never printed them out. I don't know who had them, but somebody was maybe wrongly getting on Pinterest on the mission. I don't know. I never thought about that till now. But anyways, we would take some cool Pinterest pictures and cut them out, and then I would take sometimes just cool scrapbook paper, write some fun stuff, kind of depending on the time of the year. Sometimes, like if it was Christmas, I wanted to get real festive, and I would take like the ensign pictures like this, and you could just take the whole picture and then just splice it down the middle, or you can do 2 separate covers, whatever you want to do. Washi tape is a fun thing to bring on your mission. And so we can like decorate sides of them. A big popular thing to do is we took a lot of buses in my mission, and the bus tickets were really fun and colorful, and so I would keep them, I would store them, and then I did an entire agenda out of them. And I just did weird things like handy dandy notebook. When I hit 9 months on the mission, and for those of you guys know, it's like you're having a baby when you're a sister missionary because you're halfway through. Weirdness, I know. And then sometimes, you know, I got real spiritual with it, and like the trip from, you know, the family finds the gospel, listens to the missionaries, and then goes to the temple, like really cool stuff. Make sure you always put your name. Is my name on here? A lot of times I put my name really cute on the front, so I knew. And then my last transfer, I got real trunky and was real ready to go home. No, I wasn't trunky. I like finished my mission, like actually probably the hardest I'd ever done in my whole mission. Like I worked super hard, we were in a great area. I was training, it was awesome. But I wanted to celebrate the fact that like I completed my mission. And so I had this cute little girl, this is from the Ensign. The Ensign magazines, you guys, will be in your apartments from literally like 20 years past. They're like novelty items for missionaries. It's so fun when we find like ensigns from like the 1980s, whatever, really cool. So lots of fun pictures to cut out, and then I got real trunky and just went ahead and did the girl going home. And now when it comes to making this, like I said, you just cut out the picture. You take a glue stick is the best way to go, so make sure you pack a glue stick, put that on, and if you want to, I mean, you could print out pictures ahead of time before you go on your mission to give you some fun ideas and also share with your companions. It's a really cute thing to do. And you can take like real pictures and put them on, like of you and mission companions later on. Like it's super fun. Anyways, so glue stick them on. Then the worst part is, so what you have to do is actually unspiral the whole agenda and take out this plastic spiral. then you glue on that picture, then you have to go through with a fork or like a pen and punch the picture through to match the holes on the front and back covers of the agenda. And then you want to go through and you can either buy laminate paper, like the laminate sticky stuff that's clear, or sometimes you can just use like Scotch tape. I did that sometimes, like packing tape, like on this agenda, and like it gets a little creasy sometimes, like you can see, but it's pretty good. So whatever you like best. And then you just re-spiral this through. Kind of a lot of work, but you know, when you're a missionary and like you have those free mornings and evenings, and like especially now that they did like the schedule change a couple years ago, like you have some free time to get real creative. And so the trick is getting one agenda ahead of yourself, because they don't give you they give you the agenda like for the month that you're using it, like the start of the month. And so sometimes like you don't have time to like get your new agenda already, but if you have like one extra one, because sometimes in the MTC they give you an extra one, or Companion will have an extra one, then it's super fun and you never like are behind, because a lot of times like the agenda can only hold up to like 6 weeks. Well, sometimes, you know, we would have 6.5 weeks until we got like our next agenda. So anyways, random tips. I got real creative and like cut out some of our pass along cards and put them in here like on days we were going to the temple, just to make my agenda fun and interesting. Probably one of the greatest things is these cute little decorative paper clips that are like hearts, because you want to be able to mark the day that you're on, because this thing is huge, like it has a ton of pages. And so to be able to mark that day and just easily flip to it, especially when you're like street contacting and you need to be fast, that's a great way. So, and that's a fun thing, like a Companion, I'm pretty sure, gave that to me. Super cute. So get yourself some fun little paper clips. So when it comes to your agenda, you can do whatever you want. Guys, I'm a counter. As bad as it sounds, I like knew the exact like weeks I had been in the mission. I knew the exact like days I had left. Like I knew how many days it was till Christmas, till General Conference, till my birthday. Like I always had like a countdown going, and that sounds really bad, but for me that made my mission like really exciting, because it wasn't like one giant goal like I want to go home and like I have 543 days until I'm going home. Like no, I have, you know, 20 days until my birthday. I have 30 days until General Conference. Like I just did little countdowns like that, because then something exciting was always happening, and like it made the mission pass really fast. Some people might think that's really bad. Other sister missionaries thought I was super weird, but like to me, I'm like a list checker, and so to like have like a little countdown thing was really fun for me. So there's a little bit of my weirdness. I had this calendar. I had like fun different calendars that I would always glue into the front cover of my agenda to mark like special days, and so I remember people's birthdays at home, so I could email them. Like I would write goals in here. A little fun tradition. So there is exactly 24 holes in the mission notebook. So a lot of sisters and elders, is it gonna come on? A lot of sisters and elders would mark tick marks to each hole to show how many months they had. And so that was a really fun thing. Like for sisters, you only hit 18. And so yeah, random little thing. Get some fun post-it notes. I had, what's on here before I show you guys? Oh no, okay, it's just a calendar. Like my aunt gave me some cute, like a note from the Sister Missionary sticker, like post-its. I couldn't use them like with real people because it was in English, but they were cute for my stuff. You guys will learn all about the agenda when you're in the MTC, but basically it just plans out your entire day. And your entire days can look insane like this. So how it works is you're gonna wanna go through at the beginning of when you first receive your agenda and write the days and the months up here on the top on each day, so that way you don't get confused. I would also write the day of the week. Yes, this is in Spanish, sorry, but I'd write the day of the week up here, so it's really easy. And then like I would have everything planned. I would write everything because I'm a weirdo, and so I'd write everything from like when we plan to when we do exercises and like all this stuff. We're dropping off our laundry, when we have lunch, like, and so I got really creative with that. And then I had lots of little ways. You would circle the times that you actually had appointments, and then I would do things where I would mark during the appointment when we were teaching somebody. I would do like if we invited them, because we had to keep track of a lot of numbers in my mission, so I would like do a little like sit sign when we had invited them to be baptized, like a little +1 if they were a new investigator, like a check mark if they were there, like an X if we had visited them but they weren't there. And then I would have lots of like little letters over here, like you can see CR, I, What else is there? A. So I would write down, like, if they're a recent convert, I wrote RC. If they were active, I wrote like an A. If they were just like normal member. If they were a future investigator, I wrote like an F. Like, yeah, that just helped me mentally know, because when you get a lot of these different names and multiple names of people, like, it gets hard to remember. So if you do things to help yourself out to remember, it helps a lot. Then up here you can see all these tally marks. We had to contact at least 15, I think, people a day in my mission, like street contacting or like contacting a new person. And so we would report those numbers later on throughout the week and to our district leader. So we would like do tick marks to know like where we were at. Yeah, and so you can get real creative. I like to use like different colored pens for like appointments we had. Like, I was weird, I know. So like in my bag I always had like a colored pen and a black pen. And it's just all personal preference. On P day, I would write, on like the Monday, I would write, because this whole section's like just blank because it's P day. I would just put a post-it and I would write down points I wanted to talk about with my family. And so throughout the week, I could like write something down if I wanted to tell somebody about something that happened or like something came to my mind. That way then come Monday, when I only have an hour and a half and I'm like writing as fast as I can to everybody, I don't forget things. And like I also wrote down like pictures of numbers and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, your agenda is so useful. Something we would always do, because our areas were so small. Guys, I was actually in the smallest mission in the world, if you didn't know that, besides Temple Square. The Lima, Peru Central mission is only 10 square miles, and it has 10 full stakes in it, and we still had like 200 missionaries. It was a lot. So our areas were, no joke, like this big. They were like, what is that, like 15, 20 blocks? And mine is only actually this part, because this was the elders part. And so our areas were super tiny, so whenever I moved to a new area, I always printed out the Google map and would put like the names of the streets on there. I would point out like where the pensionees, where like the lady that we had lunch with every day, where her house was, like where we would take our laundry to. Like I would do that just because like I'm a weirdo and I'm a little like over compulsive. But so there's tons of fun things you can do with your agenda. Your trainer will teach you a lot of things. Your mission president might have specific things that he wants you to do. Like when it comes to weekly planning for investigators, he gave us these pages that he wanted us to print out that gave specific items to do for each people we were teaching, and like it was just a lot more detailed than the Preach My Gospel version was. And so like we glued those into our agendas for the week. Yeah, everybody does their agenda a little bit differently. When it came to church on Sundays, I would write down in like the big section, like Iglesias Church in Spanish, I would write down who came and tick marks for how many hours they were there, because that mattered in our mission too. So each mission's a little bit different. You can get real creative with your agendas and it's super fun. I know a lot of you guys, like I said, are gonna be using iPads. I don't know what that's even like, because we didn't have that in my mission. So maybe one day soon I can get a sister missionary on here to talk about like iPad agendas and how that all works, because I have zero idea. I'm sure it's probably kind of similar to that. So planning is now, daily planning is now in the morning, where you plan out what you're teaching each investigator. You and your companion confirm what appointments you have throughout the day, and make sure you always do that, because I was like psycho and I knew every detail of what we're doing at every single moment. And sometimes my companion, especially when I was training, they would get like off in La La Land and like wouldn't listen. I don't know. But so I like knew everything, whereas sometimes they wouldn't have stuff written down that I did. And so it's always good to compare. Make sure you always have this in your bag. There'll be mornings that you might forget it and you literally feel naked. Like, I can't do anything because I don't have my agenda, and they get disgusting, and like they just like blow up and get like super full because you put all this stuff in it, and like they get all wrinkly and they get wet, and crazy stuff happens to your agendas, but they are prized possessions. And at first I was like, do I really want to keep mine? My brother had all like, I don't even know how many, is it like 17 or 18 agendas still at home in his desk, like 5 years after he came from his mission. He never looked at them once. So I was like, I'm not gonna keep those, but then I don't know, I felt like I should keep some of them, so I kept like my favorite ones. I only have 7 here, and I think I had a total like 11 or 12 agendas. And luckily I did, because now I created this YouTube channel and I talk about missionary stuff all day, every day, and I love it. So it kind of just depends on you. There's no reason to keep them, but I would also encourage you definitely to make a little notebook of people from your mission, whether it be investigators, members, like recent converts, and write down their address and their phone number and their name and like different things like that, so that way then if you go back to your mission you can still contact those people. Because if you just rely on the things you wrote in your agendas, guys, these get insane. Like, let me show you a page of like meeting new people. They get like just insane. Like, that's what that looks like. That is just a mess. And I can't even read that. I don't know what the heck half that stuff means anymore, and I can't remember. And so just make a little notebook of people that you want to remember, and that's super helpful. You guys saw my video about what to carry in your mission bag. If you remember, I had the Jane bag from Deseret Book. I have a whole video about it. I should have a picture of it. It has the exact pocket size to fit an agenda, which is amazing, because legit you need to be able to like whip this out on demand and like hurry and write down somebody's name and number as they're hurriedly like giving it to you as they're like running away from you. So make sure you have like a good bag that you can just put this into, that you can easily like take it out. Or like a lot of times the skirts with pockets are so amazing, because this would fit in there and I could just have it in my pocket with my pen and just like have life super simple. But I definitely encourage you, make the most out of your agenda. In the first like couple months of your mission, it'll seem super annoying to constantly be like carrying around this notebook with you. But it'll become your best friend. You can write down everything in it, and like I said, you can get super creative. I did tons of fun little doodles, like on Christmas Day. I had fun little stickers to point out like days, special days in the mission, and yeah. So agendas are awesome. Don't think you can buy these at Deseret Book. They only give them to you in the MTC, and then they give them to you once every month in the mission field. So I should not put that on my face. That is so dirty. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, write them in the comments down below. Keep giving me video ideas, because I have a ton of sister missionary ideas, but some of them are a little bit hard to film, so I'm still working on that. Excuse my phone. But so keep your video ideas coming, and also just everyday Mormon girl sorry, I should bleep that out every time I say Mormon. Just everyday Christian girl problems. Yeah. Write in the comments down below. And you guys can always reach me on Instagram. I'm having a great time over there doing modest fashion like a couple times a week. I'm giving you guys great tips, so go over there and follow my Instagram account and get yourself some good modest fashion tips. Anyways, love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!